There's just something magically nostalgic about vintage cars. They almost feel like something out of the movies nowadays. And if you own one, you know that they aren't the same as every other vehicle on the road. So they shouldn't have the same old coverage as every other vehicle. Let's talk about that. Hi, it's Shelly from Barry Insurance. Owning a classic car can be very exciting, but can also be very expensive. We understand that talking about insuring your classic car can sound like just another expense, but luckily there is a coverage specifically designed for handling classic cars. Here at Barry Insurance, we have insured quite a few classic cars, so we've got your back. In this video, you will learn the difference between regular and classic car insurance, how to tell if your car qualifies for coverage, what is covered by classic car insurance, how much classic car insurance costs, do you need classic car insurance? Let's jump in! What is the difference between classic car and regular car insurance? The most common question we usually get when it comes to classic car insurance is, what's the difference between classic car insurance and standard car insurance? And the honest answer is, not much. Classic car insurance offers most of the same protections as standard car insurance, such as collision, comprehensive, property damage, and bodily injury liability. However, they are specifically catered for your classic car. The main difference is that classic car insurance policies are only intended for occasional vehicle use, so the premiums tend to be much cheaper than a normal policy. Also, unlike in standard auto policies, your classic vehicle value does not depreciate. Once your vehicle price is established, that coverage amount is guaranteed on your policy. How do I know if my car qualifies for classic car coverage? Classic car insurance covers a variety of classic cars, trucks, and other vehicles, including antique autos, collector and vintage cars, some modified and newer vehicles, motorcycles, and other specialty vehicles. While that seems very comprehensive, whether or not your car qualifies for classic car coverage depends on the age of the vehicle, usage, driving records, and risk. For example, most cars will need to be around 20 years old to be considered for classic car insurance. However, some specialty models may still be covered, so be sure to discuss that with your insurance agent. Some of the other qualifications revolve around strict usage guidelines that ensure your classic car is not your daily ride. In most cases, you will need to provide evidence of an insured daily use car in addition to your classic car to be approved for a policy. Classic car policies will not be issued for everyday use vehicles, off-road or recreational vehicles, commercial use vehicles, and motorcycles with performance modifications. Some policies may even require you to store your classic car in a garage or have similar security measures in place, or you will not qualify for a policy, so always be sure to discuss all possibilities with your insurance agent. What is covered by classic car insurance? While classic car insurance is similar to a standard auto insurance policy, there are some differences, exclusions, and optional coverages tailored to owning a classic car that you'll want to be aware of. Classic car insurance typically covers complete coverage for the value of your car, injuries to someone else for an accident you cause in Massachusetts up to your policy limits, medical bills and lost wages for you and your passengers up to your policy limits, any damage done to someone else's vehicle or property, coverage if you are involved in a hit and run, coverage if you are hit by an uninsured driver, damages to your vehicle, optional coverage, cars not registered or under reconstruction, including parts, injuries to someone else for an accident you cause outside of Mass, optional, glass or windshield replacement, optional coverage, coverage if you are hit by someone with minimal insurance, optional coverage, towing, optional coverage. Some situations that are not typically covered by classic car insurance include vehicles driven daily, off-road or recreational vehicles, commercial use vehicles, motorcycles with performance modifications, improperly stored vehicles in some cases, damage from negligence or lack of vehicle maintenance, personal property in your car, damages as a result of using your vehicle for business, intentional bodily injury or property damage. Do I need classic car insurance? Not everyone owns a classic car, so if you don't have a classic car, you won't need to worry about getting this policy. However, do you need classic car insurance if you have a classic car? Technically, also no. However, if you plan on driving your classic car, you will need some type of auto policy to cover it. So most people opt to get classic car insurance as it is cheaper than a standard auto policy. How much does classic car insurance cost? If you are interested in classic cars, you know that it can be an expensive passion and every dollar you can save is important. So how much can you expect to pay for insuring your classic car? Unfortunately, without knowing the specifics of your car and situation, we can't give you a quote here. However, generally speaking, premiums for classic car policies tend to average about 35% lower than a standard auto policy. Depending on several factors, you can generally expect to pay $200 to $2,000 per year, but we usually see policies trend on the lower side of that range. Some of the factors that impact the cost of your classic car policy include the type of vehicle. Classic cars tend to be difficult to get parts for and repair. Therefore, the older or more rare the vehicle is, it could be more expensive to insure. Driving record. If you have a clean driving record, then you can expect to pay less in insurance. Usage. The reason classic car policies are cheaper is because they are used less frequently than everyday vehicles. Most drivers will take them out for a joyride and during nicer weather, so insurance companies deem them to be less risk. Most carriers will ask you how much you use your classic car to determine how much you will pay for your premium. Location. If you live in an area where claims occur less, say the suburbs rather than the city, your premium will be less. Policy limits. Each policy has different sections like comprehensive, collision, etc. For each section, they will have limits, which is how much the insurance company would pay out in a claim. Generally speaking, having higher policy limits means you will pay a higher premium. The number of drivers. If your classic car has more than one driver, the premium will be higher than if you had a single driver. If you've had prior claims, if you've had a previous classic car claim, your carrier will consider you higher risk, and your policy will cost more money. Your insurance carrier can also be a factor. Each carrier prices policies differently, so the cost can vary based on the carrier who quoted it. This is why we always recommend working with an independent agency who will shop your insurance to find the best coverage for the best price. Owning a classic car can be so rewarding. Maybe it was a dream car or the same car from your favorite movie growing up. So be sure to provide the best protection for your prized possession with a classic car insurance policy. If you want more information on classic car insurance, check out our Learning Center on our website. We have tons of articles and videos on classic cars as well as all types of insurance information. If you found today's video helpful, please like this video and consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. We make videos like this every week to help our viewers find answers to their insurance questions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.